September 1st, 1923, it was a day that forever scarred Japan, unleashing one of the worst urban disasters in modern history, the Great Kanto Earthquake, a catastrophe that would obliterate Tokyo and Yokohama in the blink of an eye. Just before noon at 11:58 a.m., the earth began to tear itself apart. A colossal 7.9 magnitude earthquake violently shook the Kanto region. At that moment, life was normal. Families were preparing lunch over traditional charcoal stoves. Trains were packed with commuters, bustling markets were filled with shoppers. Then, chaos. Buildings didn't just crack. They disintegrated. Steel rail lines twisted into unrecognizable shapes. The ground heaved so violently that people were thrown off their feet, unable to even stand. But the shaking was just the beginning. The true horror was yet to come. Across the cities, thousands of open cooking fires were knocked over, gas lines ruptured, spewing flammable gas into the air. Fueled by strong winds, these small fires merged into an unstoppable inferno. Massive firestorms, some swirling into terrifying fire tornadoes, swept through the wooden cityscapes. Entire neighborhoods vanished in minutes. In one horrifying incident in Tokyo's Honjo district, a massive fire vortex trapped and incinerated nearly 40,000 people who had fled to an open area, thinking they were safe as the cities burned. The coast was being battered by a different force. The quake triggered powerful tsunamis that slammed into the shoreline, flooding harbors and capsizing ships. Inland, the violent shaking caused devastating landslides, burying entire villages in the mountains. It was a relentless chain reaction of destruction. With no escape, the once proud capital of Tokyo was transformed into a sea of flames and rubble. Yokohama, a thriving international port, was simply flattened. Its famous pier and foreign settlement completely destroyed. Roads split open, bridges collapsed into rivers, and communication with the outside world was severed. In a single afternoon, over 1 million people were suddenly homeless, wandering through a smoldering wasteland. The human cost was staggering. When the fires finally died down days later, an estimated 140,000 people were dead or missing. The scale of the destruction was so absolute that witnesses described the landscape as a hell on earth, completely flattened by quake and fire. Yet, out of this unimaginable tragedy, a new Japan began to rise. The nation rebuilt with incredible determination and resilience. The disaster forced a complete rethink of urban planning. New building codes were created, mandating earthquake-resistant structures. Tokyo's layout was redesigned with wider roads and more parks to act as fire breaks. The Great Kanto Earthquake became a defining moment in Japan's history, ingraining a deep-seated culture of disaster preparedness that continues to this day. Thanks for joining us at 3 Minute Studio. For more powerful history told in just a few minutes, remember to like, share, and subscribe for new videos every week.